Welcome back. Just a few things I want to address with my Tesla video. Now, there has been a few people who've been commenting on that video with the Model S Plaid, and they've been thinking, they're like, hey, well, look, I know I made comments about the brakes and things. Some people have been saying, hey, well, Tesla addressed the brakes. They have a $20,000 package. Like I said, but it's $20,000. And then someone else was saying that, I'm a Tesla, hates to see like people hating on Teslas and they never own one and they may rent one for a few hours. All right, first of all, let me point this out here. I didn't just rent a Tesla for a few hours and make my assumptions. I have rented two different Teslas and I have rented them for multiple days. So that's not like I have limited experience. I've also have experienced the test drive during the at the Tesla Center. I have strongly considered owning a Tesla myself. I think Tesla still needs some things to work on as far as ownership and service and things. And I've been following a video, Tommy L Garage's experience with this Model Y, and those things just sort of solidifies my reasons why I don't necessarily want to own one right now. It's nothing horrible about it, but those things that I have been reading or seeing are things that I don't think you should get from when you're paying a premium price for these vehicles. When Lexus came out in 1990, 91, whatever it was, or maybe it was 89, Lexus came out with the LS 400, they had embarrassed BMW, they embarrassed Mercedes with their service and their experience and the perks of owning a luxury vehicle. They really made you feel like you own something special. And I'm not saying you need to spend a lot of time in service, but when you do have to have that inconvenience, it's nice to have that extra treatment. Okay, and I think this goes a long way with the ownership, and also it helps develop that relationship with the dealerships when you are treated fairly. They take care of your property, and then as in turn you are getting the treatment. Like I said, loaner cars make a huge difference when you get something close to equivalent to what you have, or if not better. Like I said, if I get a 2016 M3, I take it in there. I'm not expecting an M3, but if they give me a brand new 3 Series to drive, that's pretty good, right? But what I wanted to talk about, just address a few things with those brakes. First of all, people, the owners who drive them, the brakes are fine. The brakes, I'm not saying like you slow down for 70, 80 miles an hour and all of a sudden your brakes are like done. I'm not saying that. And I'm not saying that the car's performance is like the first ever and people are going to kill themselves. What I'm saying is your average buyer for that car isn't going to be someone that's going to be a huge car person, where they may have had a few cars in their past. They might have had that experience. Now, I know that other person made a comment like, well, nobody see anything about the Hellcats and nobody ever said anything about these Bugattis and things. But hold on. What is one thing that those cars has? Those cars at least have the brakes that can back up their performance. All right, you can't just throw a lot of power of anything and then expect to have little brakes. That's like me putting a big old turbocharger and making 500 horsepower to Miata, but still keeping the brakes stock. Those little single piston calipers aren't going to handle that 500 horsepower. And that's exactly the same going for the Model S Plaid. Those brakes, even the size of the disc, they're smaller than what's on the M3. The M3 has bigger brakes. M3 is a lighter car, and M3 isn't as fast as that car. So now you have extra weight. Weight is going to increase that heat. So yeah, you can slow down once, but what's going to happen when you're slowing down again? All right. I've seen plenty of videos out there where people are making comments. Even the journalists are saying that even their one or two stops down, they're automatically getting those brake temperature warnings, right? So even the car is saying that. I'm not saying that. The car's telling people that. And second of all, who's going to spend $20,000 on a Tesla buyer for brakes if you're not tracking the car? Like even the people with the exotic cars, they don't go up to carbon ceramics. They actually go down to their carbon ceramics and go to steel brakes because they want the cost of though that's expensive. So if you want carbon ceramics, that no one's going to do that. Or most likely, the owners are going to be more mechanically inclined. They're going to take it somewhere. But honestly, they're not spending $20,000 because unless it's something they can download online, have an overnight upgrade, they're not going to do it. All right, you're not going to have your brakes. Do have a software download to get your bigger brakes. So they're not going to take the car in and get it done. It's not going to be done. I see very limited people about to spend that much money. So the car should have came with that from the factory, plain and simple. And Tesla missed the mark on it. It sucks, and they're trying to pass the cost on to the customer, just typical but business model. You pay us now, we'll deliver the product later. So I'm assuming they're gonna probably take pre-orders and things, and then they'll make the product, and then they'll deliver the brakes. But I mean, like I said, I watch Drag Time's videos. I even tagged him in that last video. I mean, I wasn't expecting him to reply, considering that he's a huge Tesla supporter. Nothing wrong with that, but he knows his limitations of the car. He knows what the car can do. He knows also, I mean, he takes a car to a drag strip, you know, the few passes is fine. I had the Tesla Plaid channel. He actually responded and he told me, he says, look, the brakes were adequate from the drag strip. But, you know, multiple passes would then, you know, heat him up. But obviously it's the same for any street car. And that goes for any car with you know, brakes too. No one's going to really track these cars. I've seen a couple of videos where people had tracked them, and I've seen I can't remember that channel's name, and I might have to link it, but he has made comparisons showing different cars and different things like that, and that's completely fine. And like I said, an experienced driver, like if I get behind a Plaid, I'm gonna know the limitations because I know obviously the car's weight. But someone who is like, oh, you know what, I want to buy a car, I want to do this, they're gonna do that. They're gonna hurt themselves. They're gonna hurt someone else. They try to show off, right? Now I know that someone can say, well, you can show off in those Challengers and those Hellcats and those things like that. That's true, and you can also show off in a motorcycle, right? But the difference is the Tesla has all the electronics and things that can keep it on track, right? So when it accelerates, it just goes. So it's not so much of the control, it's the things what happens, the unexpected when you're accelerating and pull in front of you. You're not expecting that. So you're in a heavy car, puny brakes, and now you're trying to get that car to slow down pretty quickly. And you might have already done one to, you know, brakes are already be at, you know, temperature. Second of all, like I said, the traction. Those cars, and I've said this before, and this is before my YouTube channel was even a thing. I have said this with the Challenger when they first came out. So I said 7 horsepower, and you're spending $50,000 for these cars, people are gonna hurt themselves, right? And sure enough, I will say within, you know, the first few weeks, I was seeing people were taking delivery of their Hellcats, and they were wrecking them within the first week or sometimes the first hour of taking delivery of their Hellcats. So, but the difference is they're wrecking themselves, right? The control. Motorcycle, show off on a motorcycle, guess what? You're gonna 12 o'clock it, flip over, you can kill yourself, right? Hurt yourself, right? But I'm saying these other cars, a little different. So, I said this too. This is like a software download or something like that. I highly doubt that they're gonna spend the money and do it. And like I said, if the owners already think they're fine, and most of the people are replying to my channel and saying that their brakes are fine for what they are, that even solidifies my answer that they're not going to spend the money, because why would you spend the money if you already assume that your brakes are fine? You don't think your brakes are fine until you actually run into a situation. Once you experience brake fade, you'll never know. I had experienced brake fade a couple of times, and when it happens, you don't expect it to happen. It usually happens after 1 or 2 highway stops, a couple of different traffic lights. You know, you might be going at a different road, have like 60 miles an hour. Hey, you had to come out to a traffic light turns red, you stop. Next thing you know, light happens at the end, like, oh crap, the brakes are heating up. So you start to smell something, right? But anyway, better rambling too long. I'm sure that I'll be more comments. I'm sure that's gonna be more people hate. Again, I don't hate Tesla. I actually considered buying one. I just don't think it's one for me. When I have my car here, I prefer to have my cars. I mean, I honestly, I know that things happen, but I want the Type R instead, because anything happens to it, I know I can take it in to Honda and then I'll get it fixed. You know, I have to wait for, you know, weeks for different parts and things like that, and you know, it goes from there. So anyway, I'm sure that you can give me thumbs down. I'm sure you did dislike the video. Go ahead. it doesn't hurt my feelings at all. But those of you who think the brakes are fine, those of you who don't see a problem with it, go ahead, just be careful. That's all I'm gonna say. Be careful what you have. Don't be trying to keep up with me on the track and then wreck yourself because you had your little tiny brakes. Like I said, I watched the other videos. I mean, I watched even some from when I was looking at the Model X before I bought the X5M. I considered Model X. I watched Tesla Kim, or I think it's Kim Java or something. I think she makes a lot of Tesla videos. I was following her stuff for a while, and you know, following the other is I can't remember the Tesla family. Watched some of his videos too, the experience looks pretty cool. I would like to do it, but I think once I see a little bit more, I think the service needs to really step up. I don't want to take it in for a problem and not have a car if I'm depending on it. And my question is, if someone can answer, is why are there so many Teslas in service if the car doesn't have a engine? So no gasoline engine, no oil changes, no like, why are so many Teslas always in service? All right, let me ask you something. I know I was hard on Tesla, but they need to hear it, or whoever the owners need to understand that they need to really step up. Now, if you want to see me try a Plaid, because I'm sure I'm gonna get a lot of thumbs up if you haven't already by now. But if you want to see me try out the Tesla Plaid, give me a thumbs up. Okay, I'll drive one, make my own assumptions, and we'll go from there. Okay, if I feel the same way, you'll hear another video. If I say, you know what, there are different variations, you don't really need it, but let me know. So let's say 20 likes on this video, because I don't think I'm gonna get a lot of likes on this, just because I don't think anyone's gonna make it to the end of this video. But 20 likes, I'll rent a Plaid for more than a day. Let's say a few days, and then anyway, thank you for watching if you made it this far. And if you're a Plaid owner, drop a comment if you agree or disagree. Or if you're a Tesla owner, if you agree with the service, let me know. Thank you for watching.